Hello guys, my name is Matt from paintacademy.com and today I will show you how to paint the Blood Bowl troll and to be exact his green skin, which in my case is very light green. As always, I started with an airbrush, and the first thing to do is just to put the green base layer all over the skin parts. I will show you the whole process of airbrushing, but the regular brush phase will be only done on his face, because I don't want to repeat over and over the same techniques, and the face is very good example for the whole model and the whole skin parts. And now we have very nice green color all over the model, and the next thing to do is to spray the shadow, which is a mix of previous color and some of the mahogany. That's why the shadow is a little bit red or brown, but it's like painting shadow in every other case. You just go from below, aiming at the narrow edges of the model and spraying everything that's not lighted directly from above. At this point, the troll is very dark, and I want him to be in the more light green spectrum, so I use the lime green to make the highlights. I make the paint more transparent, just because I don't want to cover all the deep shadows I already have, and I have a lot to surface to cover with the lime green, so I just want to make sure nothing done before will be undone with the highlights. And if I decide it will be not enough, I just do another round of highlight and it will be much safer that way. I mixed my lime green with a little bit of white, which makes it more easier to work with and much brighter, but it takes something from the color, so for me it's okay. But if you would like to have something more colorful, you would need to use only the lime green without adding the white. It would add much color to it, but it would take some brightness. The troll have all the necessary highlights, and we just could use it as it is, but I wanted to add some mahogany from below, and mainly because it's creating more the contrast between the shadows and the skin, and the model looks more colorful when you do it. Now we have our base airbrushed, and we can go and paint him with regular brush. As I said before, I just show everything on his face and then just skip to the end just to make the video shorter. I always try to start with painting all the elements that aren't skin in the other color. So I just pick up the mahogany and painted his nose, mouth, eyes and ears. Mahogany is the paint from the Vallejo Air line, which is made for airbrush. That's why it's a little bit transparent straight from the pot, which is a good thing in this step, because I want to make it a little bit transparent, so the skin and the green skin fades away and make transition into red. So it's much easier to do with properly tinned paint, and you really could just add a lot of water to it, but the Vallejo Air I guess some kind of other chemicals to use to make it work with an airbrush, so it's a little bit easier to work with. I also decided to paint his earrings and eyes black, just for the sake of black lining at this point. Now when I have the clear distinction between the red parts and the green parts, I started to highlight the green skin. And the highlighting the forehead is pretty straightforward, because you just highlight from the one side of the muscle to the other. But the most important thing at this point is to highlight all the face features he has. So the wrinkles around the eyes and maybe some spots that really should catch the focus of your eyes. The paint I'm using is very light green, but it's just the white with a little bit of green, and that's why I just decided to paint his eyeballs, because when you paint over the very dark space, it just, even it isn't plain white, it looks like white, so why not? Now we need to highlight red parts of his skin, and we are using the mahogany, which is kind of brown, but when you mix it with white, it's a little bit pink, which is perfect for this occasion. And you just highlight all the folds on his ears and nose, his bottom lip with this mix, and that's it. After that, you just add the more white to the mix and paint just the very ends of your highlights with very bright mix of white and mahogany. I tried to be a little bit fancy and paint pattern over his bottom lip, so I just painted the straight lines, and after that I add more water to the mix and just glazed over the whole lip to make the lines fade and make it look much more natural. As always, we need to finish up with white, almost any color is finished with white. In my case, I just took the plain white and painted the little dots at the edge of the highlights I had painted before, as well as his eyeball to make it more white, his teeth, and all the little details that left. I tried to paint his pupils blue, but it didn't really work out. It looks a little bit strange, so I just stick to the very dark color and add a little bleak at this at the top of his pupil to make it a little bit shiny. It's something like painting the gems. And that's everything. You just need to repeat all these steps on the other parts of the skin and you are pretty much done. I hope you liked the video, and if you have any questions you just can post the comment, and I see you next time in the next video. Cheers!